So it's your sense that when you say corporate, do you mean that the major direction of the left is from corporations?
A lot of it, yeah. I mean, like corporate outlets, like an NBC, like a Microsoft, like those places that are funded would have the big pharma commercials, ad breaks, and stuff like that.
So you don't think that, because it's my sense that most of the direction of the left is really coming from people like, or it comes from basically academia, right? So people like bell hooks, people like, I'm not sure who's actually active nowadays, but it was like your postmodernists, your leftists, your Foucault's, your and those kind of thinkers. So is it your sense that they don't shape the opinions of the left, or is it your opinion that people in corporate America hear that and they say this is what we should do because that's what they believe, or do you think that this is what we should do because this is what we think people will purchase?
It's the latter. Corporate America bends the knee to fear. Like they are dictated by what they think the people will riot over. But I think the left is fractured, so it's hard to say one group is inspiring the left over another, just like the right is fractured. You see MAGA types and you see Lindsey Graham types. It's hard to see, who exactly. There's not one thing influencing them all. But the left is more of a monolith. I do believe that. But watching people like on the Young Turks have conversations with people on the right, I don't think you'll see that, at least in a long format context, out of a MS Now, or especially on the View, where it's all just sound bites and they want to attack you. Whereas more independent minded people who who definitely still hold leftist beliefs, they're willing to talk it out.
Well, Kasperi in particular, I think she's hilarious, but her in particular, she literally had an interaction with reality.
Yeah,
her ideology bumped into reality, and she was forced to change what she thought because she started saying, "Wait a minute, this isn't. It's not true." I mean, there's a clip that's pretty famous of her talking about some murders that were happening on Long Island. And when she heard the story, she's like, this can't be true. And then she goes, "It's true, guys. It was real. It's real." And she's like, I was just gonna blow it off. But then, because the left really can't be trusted. And so people that have trusted the left for a long time, and Rittenhouse is another perfect example. Yeah. There are tons of people on the left that would swear up and down that Rittenhouse was there to kill black people, and he did kill black people. It's like, bro, he killed two white guys that attacked him, and they would swear up and down that no, that's not what happened. Even to the point where if you show them evidence, they kind of still don't believe it. I think that Cenk is actually one of those guys. Like, he saw it and he's still like, well, he was wrong for going there, et cetera, et cetera.
They're allergic to it. I do also want to say that someone like Anna is rare on the left. Like, I think a lot of them will sacrifice themselves into danger, if it conflicts with their worldview. Like during the George Floyd riots, I was living right near Newburgh in New York, and there were people who were having their windows smashed. It was crazy rioting, and the next day they put up boards on their storefront window saying, we forgive you. They don't care about their own personal safety, at least not outwardly, so they are willing to sacrifice themselves for their ideology. And that seems to be more prevalent than someone like Anna Kasparian, who's willing to confront reality and publicly say, I've changed my mind.
Wasn't there a study done once where they said that for you to give up your belief, it's actually painful. It's physically painful to yourself, for you to admit that you're wrong. Yeah. So for someone that thinks that Kyle Rittenhouse, I'm sorry. No. So for someone like Kyle Rittenhouse, where they were like, this is white supremacy. I think my wife's cousin put up a post on Facebook, after the whole thing happened, where he was not guilty, and she goes, "This is white supremacy at play right here." Right. And it was like, okay, this is a white guy who shot 3 other white people.
Right. In self-defense.
How is this in the grandest definition of self-defense there could be?
Right.
please explain to me how this is white supremacy. And she was like, well, it just is. Like, okay.
And it's the craziest
You got me. Okay.
is you could
cool.
show some of these people the footage and they'd still walk away with that belief that they initially held.
Yeah.
You know, like you could show them the very fine people on both sides, full context. You show them Rittenhouse, all these different things, and they still have a hard time changing. We had someone on the show this year. We were talking, I forget what it was. It was very fine people, and she couldn't even still wrap her head around it. And Snopes of all places said it was fake. You know?
One of my friends, a good buddy of mine that I've been friends with for years and years, he's pretty left. And when it comes to the Donald Trump very fine people thing, I'm like, look, man, you know, look. And he's like, well, he was still there. There were Nazis there. So I'm like, bro, he specifically said no. And like when it came to like that whole thing, like the Nazis were not openly Nazis before the actual like thing. Like they were like kind of keeping it on the down low. But yeah, was just like, look, man, he was there and Nazis were there. So it doesn't matter.
The problem is that these people, they need to have genuine character. And in order to have genuine character, you have to admit that you were lied to, that you believe the lie without thinking about it critically, and that you promulgated it. Mm-hmm. And most people don't have the character to actually fess up to that kind of thing. It doesn't matter if you prove it to them or not. You know, they're just not going to go for it.
Yeah.
And
well, look at the whole party switch argument from the left. Mm-hmm. Like I keep asking, do you really believe that Republicans got together with Democrats and just kind of went, okay, like we're going to reverse this, right? Okay, cool. You know, somebody just threw out the Uno reverse card and said, okay, from now on, this is how we're going to do this. It's been disproven over and over again, but they still hold on to that. Like I get in arguments almost every other day with someone who's like, well, the party switched. You know, even though the KKK was started out as the enforcement wing of the Democrat Party, the party switched. When and who switched?
Yep.
And then they're like, well, you know, just Google it. No, you Google it. You said it.
Right.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.